Yesterday I had two big gainers here, and I was able to capitalize on it. So I would like so while the market is a little slow here in the pre-market, I like to talk about like my gain yesterday primarily was XPON for educational purposes as always. So XPON came into the morning around 220, if I were gonna say, and it went up over here. I netted about 5,800 on it. Let me see my all my fills here. So my big trade on XPON was pretty much from um let's see, my best trade on XPON. So XPON came into my radar over here. I thought about going long right here at 320, and then I got stopped out. And then soon enough, you can see so here that my first long was like 320 or 320, and then I sold like 315. So my second long was 322 because we were wedging around 8 o'clock. Pretty much after 322, I sold some. You can sort of see I sold some at 347, 355, and then I rebought at 366, and then I sold at 390. So this was a nice downtrend play. Being up 5,800 was pretty decent. A lot of you guys have been over trading. Try not to over trade too much. This market is definitely has volatility, and if you trade too much, you'll probably get burned out and have a big loss. So, XMON was a textbook downtrend break. Here was a fake out, to tell you the truth. And but then I pretty much went back in long, and pretty much capitalized on this thing. So I went long here, took profits, added, and then sold most of it at 390 here, 392 or whatever, 384, 395. That's kind of like what I did. My other trades were I tried to buy it again over here. I got stopped out. I bought it over here. I got stopped out. And I bought it even again here. So I bought it multiple times here, and I got stopped out. And I bought it again at 390 and I got stopped out. My only other trade was when with this ticker was developing a wedge. You can see this wedge I posted in the chat room, in the private chat room that it was developing this wedge. You can see I posted this wedge right about here before we blasted off. We had multiple traders trade this one. I believe he stayed long at 395 and he sold at 460, Mr. M here. So that was that was pretty intense here because the four seller didn't want to leave. Um, and after that we went straight. I was long, and then I got out, and then I re-longed it as we broke this 455 area, and then we pretty much went back up. So my best trade on it was actually 455 to 530.30. So I grabbed here 70 cents, and then I walked. That was primarily my trade. So the majority of the profit happened from here to here and from here to here. Whatever happened here was a flat, here was a flat, and here was another flat. So I took a big profit. Then I had 2, 3 flats, and then I pretty much longed it again at 455, and we so this is the bulk of the move that I made, and then XPON. I was very excited about this trade. The other trade was SNOA. Like I was discussing yesterday in the pre-market whether or not at 7 a.m. this ticker is going to continue on or not. Like I said in many of my videos, SNOA was a short. So I always watch what happens at around 7 a.m. And at 7 a.m. SNOA, while we were gapping up 100 and some percent, the ticker pretty much dumped at 7 a.m. And most of the time, once it dumps and 7 a.m. buyers get caught into this dump, it usually goes down, and that's exactly what happened. I actually did not hold it as much as I should have. I didn't really like the sideways price action from here to here. It was about an hour of sideways price action, which was kind of nerve-wracking because you're sitting short here and it's not going anywhere. And then we pretty much dumped, and then I covered, and soon enough I should have held most of this position because it eventually did what I wanted to do. Went from 7 a.m. At 8 down to 5:50, and that was but I only shorted and covered here, which was just a small trade. And that put me up, I think that put me up like 9K on the day. Just these two tickers put me up 9K on the day. That those like Xpon and Snoa. So I should have ideally, the only thing I didn't like is I didn't hold Snoa. I wanted to hold Snoa for much longer, but I did not. And but Xpon, um the thing that I did here is wrong, is that at one moment I tried to go short. So that was the most stupid thing I ever seen. At one point I tried to go short because we broke on the downtrend, and then within like half a second it squeezed against me for like 50 cents. So my only like real mistake is that I tried to go short on Xpon, and soon enough that was not like the thing to do. Even though we broke this downtrend, that doesn't mean it's a short by 5 pennies here. So soon enough, very, very volatile securities. A couple of you guys are trading in the aftermarket. I mean, we've seen a lot of aftermarket movement here. I'm just checking the chat log of what we've seen here. Look at this aftermarket price volatility here from 782 to 34. So whether or not these tickers are you can capitalize on it. Look at CUPR from $4 to 38. I'm just going through a chat log, or UFG from $4 up to 20. So it's been quite volatile, I would have to say. But so far so good. Xpon, we had a nice wedge pattern and we took some profits out, but it was a little bit choppy and hard to deal with because we had a 4 breakout, we didn't break. We had a pre-market breakout, we didn't break. As I was watching some of my videos, I understood that this was a uptrend wedge resistance, and they kept shorting that line multiple times, and then slam back down. So it was a little volatile before selling off. So like I said in my live stream of yesterday, once you got like too many movers, eventually, like what happened yesterday, eventually these tickers, most of them sold off. If we look on yesterday at 9:30 a.m. 9:30 a.m. You can see that we had Xpon. Trib did another VWAP reclaim here that I was not expecting. Trib pretty much did a VWAP reclaim, and we got up to 344. That was an amazing range here. But the majority of them from yesterday, if I were gonna check my price log right here, we had Trib eventually died. You can see that. So once you got too many movers working, you had Xmon that died. I think that thing had an offering. Like, the exercise warrants at 133. So and then Snowa died. So we had about 3 tickers that died. So that was pretty good. So that was kind of like yesterday. I'm glad I knocked this video out so I can focus on today's price action. Pretty good day yesterday. It was actually exhausting. Like, after all these movement, I actually, to tell you the truth, I had a little bit of a headache, and I just didn't really want to do anything. I just laid in bed for like a couple hours to digest all the volatility that we've been seeing this past week. Other than that, we'll just see what's going on today. Do our 1 hour live show, and then go from there. That will be ideal what I'm planning to do. And then pretty much wrap it all up, and look for other movers next week. Other than that, that's about it. That's for educational purposes only. And that's actually my video that I'm gonna post just now, separate.